Hello Baggies fans and welcome to another video here on the Baggies podcast YouTube channel. Fantastic to have you here. Not fantastic to be talking about what I'm about to talk about. A very, very bitter pill to swallow against Everton. A 1-0 loss at the Hawthorns, and one in which I'm going to say it now, we didn't deserve to lose. I think we deserved at least a point out of the game, and I'd say a draw would have been a fair result, but a win would have definitely been a possibility with the chances we created and whatnot. However, today just got a little post-match reaction for you because Sunday's podcast is already a long one due to the fact that I've already secured a guest. I've spoken to the guest and it's a bit of a long interview. So therefore, I don't want to bang on about two games, and I'll just bang on about the one if that's all right with you. However, this is a little post-match thoughts video for you guys. If you're new around here, please make sure you subscribe. It'd be fantastic to have you on the journey to 1,000 subscribers. Trying to push for 500 Twitter followers as well. If you want to go and help me out on there, maybe go and just drop me a little follow on there. That'd be fantastic to have you on board. But these are just some post-match thoughts. I'll do a little brief thing on the podcast on Sunday, which has a very special guest. So if you want to follow me on Twitter and find out that guest tomorrow, then yeah, I'd recommend you do so, because that's going to be coming tomorrow. I'm going to be revealing the guest who is going to be coming on the podcast, or who has been on the podcast, but that episode is going to be released on Monday, so make sure you stay tuned for that. But post-match thoughts, hard done by. I think if I'm going to sum it up in the first half, I thought we started the game really well. I'm just going to read some little notes I've made during the game on my phone, but yeah, I thought in the first half we pressed really nicely. I think first 15 minutes or so we got in their faces. They struggled to play their football. I think in a Bilic side, I think we'd have tried to out football Everton, which wouldn't have gone so well, and we'd have just been cut open. However, with an Allardyce side, I think we did work things out really well in the first 20 minutes. I think Jokerslu sort of playing that half-back role, which I like to play on Football Manager, but he sits in between those two centre-backs and he drops back behind them to cover sometimes, and drops forwards if the midfielder needed a bit of extra support. So I think he did a really good job in that role. Just another little plaudit for Jokerslu. Fantastic work. I think it allowed Maitland-Niles and Gallagher to push a bit more forward, and allowed the fullbacks to sort of whip round the centre-backs and get a bit more forwards as well. I think towards the end of the first half, I think we started to allow Everton to come onto us a little bit, which I think was a bit of a mistake, because they started to create a few chances. Obviously, they had that Calvert-Lewin chance. They had a chance with Richarlison. Yeah, they had a chance with Richarlison, which was deflected by Furlong over the bar. But yeah, I think in those sorts of instances, I think Sam was a little negative with, dropping us back a little bit. However, today, I can't fault the effort levels of the players. I think that's something that I could fault quite a lot this season, but I think under the past 4 or 5 games, I think I can't fault them. I can't fault the effort levels from the players. I can't fault the system by Sam. Maybe I can, because I just have, but with the dropping back. But I can't really fault what's gone on today. I think this is something that's really got to be built on. I think a positive performance against a team that are fourth. Let's not forget that. I know Everton perhaps were a little bit poor and a little bit low standards tonight. I'm sure a lot of Everton fans that I've been speaking on with Twitter will agree with that. I just feel that we were really good in that particular game. I think that we just need to build on that for Newcastle on Sunday. I think it's going to be a big game. However, I do think that we worked really hard. I think they started Everton dominate towards the end of the first half. It's becoming a bit dogged in the midfield, and I think we had that midfield dominated for the first 15 or 20 minutes. But towards the end of that first half, I think we sort of lost that control and allowed them to come on to us. I think in terms of the second half, we started to get a bit more forward, get a bit more in their faces, and we started to get in there. But then Richarlison scored the goal, and then I think it was just upsetting. I think Diagne had a couple of chances in the game, the one being the header in the first half. It didn't really get the connection on it. I went to head it myself when the chance came in, but yeah, it didn't really get the connection on the ball. But I think towards the end of the game, I think it's so unlucky with that offside. I'd love to see it again from a proper angle with the line drawn in a proper sense of direction. I mean, the one that they showed us on Sky, I do hope that's not the one that they were making the decision with, because that was an appalling angle to draw an offside from like where you can only see the striker. I think they actually drew it from Godfrey's foot, which was actually further than the top of his sleeve, which I think is where they tend to draw it from, around here. So this part would have kept Diagne onside if they'd have drawn the line from there, but they drew it from his foot, which I was a bit confused about. Actually, let's go on to the choice of commentators on Sky Sports. That was absolutely appalling. Andy Hinchcliffe, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, co-commentator, not the person doing the main talking, but the person who's giving the punditry, if you like. Terrible. I thought he wanted to take Ancelotti on a date with him. Honestly, some of the stuff he was saying about Everton. I mean, Everton were underwhelming tonight. I'm sure a lot of their fans will agree. I've seen a lot of them talking about how this was a scrappy win, and it was. They didn't play nice football particularly. They got a goal from a corner, in which Diagne should have closed down a bit quicker, I think. But yeah, it's just one of those things. Really, he's probably I do have to say he's probably incredibly tired after servicing the entire front line for quite some time. But yes, in terms of Diagne, I thought he was really good today. I thought he really nailed a strong centre-back pairing. I don't mean strong as in, good. Well, they are good, but physically strong in Godfrey and Michael Keane. But I'm just going to run through the lineup and give you my thoughts on each and every player. Why not? Let's do that. This is my channel. I can do these things apparently. Johnston in goal made a really good save from that Calvert-Lewin one-on-one. Furlong at right back, I thought played really well. I thought got forward nicely. I think he lost his head at that moment where he got booked. I think that was a bit of a silly one to try and shove Dino out, play a player that's considerably stronger and taller than Furlong. I think it was a bit silly. O'Shea, really good. Really, really good. I think he was better than Bartley today, I think, but simply because, I thought O'Shea was really good. I thought he was quite a good performance from him. Kyle Bartley, decent, just solid. I don't think you could ask for any more from that back four. Colin Townsend getting forward when he could. Nothing really to report on really from that back four. No mistakes. Okay, Yokushlu brushed over him a little bit, but really good. Really, really good in front of that back four. Pereira, I'm going to have to mention it. He was off the boil tonight. In that first half, I think I made a couple of tweets about him. I'll read those out for you now if you just bear with me a second and I'll get them up. Just before half time. Pereira, these are my words. Pereira, absolute passenger. I know sometimes your creative spark might not be off and you can't play that right ball, but he's not even bothering tracking his man down the wing. Yeah, that was the thing for me. He was not only not playing the passes correctly, which is fair enough, just a bit sloppy. That happens to people. It happens in football. But the fact that his effort levels clearly weren't there tonight, I'm not sure who he perhaps is perceiving himself to be at the moment. He seems to want too much time on the ball, seems to expect too much time on the ball, and I think he's coming back to bite him. I'm not sure Sam will be happy with that performance today. Gallagher just run himself ragged in the midfield. Maitland-Niles, again, did a lot of running in the midfield, working hard. It's just all you can really expect from a young midfield like that. It's actually quite a youthful team, actually, now we start to look at things. Phillips, much improved. I moaned about it before the game. I wanted Robinson in, I wanted Grant in instead of him. But he proved me wrong today. Fair play, Matty. Did a couple of good things, nice crossing. Showing a bit more confidence. He was actually having a run at people, which was really nice to see. Diagne, I've already talked about him. I just feel so bad for him. He deserves a goal. He's in my fantasy team as well. But yeah, I'd say that he certainly deserved a goal today. I think he's definitely just a great player. I thought we've got to hold on to him in the Championship. I was talking to people on Twitter saying, got to hold on for him. He's just a great player. Coming off the bench was Snodgrass and Carnu. I can't really comment on them. They were on the pitch for 12 minutes each. Carnu, I'm not sure. That's the bit I was confused about with Sam. I know I criticised the tactic to dropping deep, but Robinson or Grant I'd have brought on instead of Carnu, just to add some pace alongside Diagne, to give them something else, give the defence something else to think about. They've dealt with physicality all night. I believe they haven't dealt the best with Diagne all night. But what would they do if they've got somebody quick and nippy next to them? A bit more slight in figure as well. They've dealt with physicality all night. They're getting used to dealing with physicality. Give them something else. Give them something else to work against. I think, Diagne played really well, but I'd have liked to have seen somebody a bit quicker up front rather than Carnu. Carnu, no issues against him. Snodgrass didn't really do much when he came on, just a couple of passes, really, from what I can recall. But yeah, a bit confused about the offside rule. But in summary, I think we should have got a point out of the game at least. Could have even got a win. I'd say that might have been a little undeserved, but we certainly deserved a point. I should be sat here talking about how we've really battled for a point, but instead I'm talking about how unlucky we were, and we've got to take that motivation and got to take that into the next game. It's got to happen, I'm afraid. It's got to happen now, or it's got to happen never. It's got to be at some point. But I do hope to see us getting a win against Newcastle. Such a huge game. I just hope that we can take the positive from that performance and not be too disheartened. I just hope it doesn't knock the confidence of the players, really. But yes, make sure that you're subscribed to the YouTube channel, and I hope we can go and get a win against Newcastle. The podcast is released on Monday with a very, very special guest. You'll be seeing more of that on my Twitter page. If you want to go and help me get to 500 followers, do it. And make sure you subscribe, because I'll be glad to have you on board for my journey on YouTube. It's been a relatively new one for me, but make sure you go and help me out and subscribe. It'd be great to have you on and, chat to you. Comment down below your thoughts on the game. Comment your thoughts for the Newcastle game. I'm really looking forward to seeing what you guys think. It's been a pleasure having you here. Hopefully 3 points against Newcastle. My fingers are solidly crossed, and I'll see you next time. I feel quite upbeat, actually. I shouldn't be this upbeat. We just lost, but I feel that I can take the positive from that performance. We're just unlucky. It's a tough one to take, but hopefully we'll go and beat Newcastle. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye, Baggies fans. Have a fantastic rest of your evening.